I'm going to do a little experiment on my clutching on this Yamaha vmax 500. It's a 97. I'm going to I'm going to shim the primary spring. So first I'm going to check it where the tracking gauges stock, and then I'll remove the clutch and put the shims in and see what happens. About 3,500. Alright, so it looks like it kicked in at about 3,500 RPM with the track off the ground. I'm going to pull this belt cover, move that aside. There should normally be a plug right here, but this is missing it, so whatever. So you could set the parking brake and then just move the secondary sheave, pushing on it on the helix, and you can pop the belt off. So the belt out of the way, and then I have a 22 millimeter in my impact. Get on this clutch bolt. Get your clutch bolt out, set it aside, and then have my handy Yamaha clutch puller tool. Start it by hand, a few threads, and then that's going to be a 19 millimeter. So I'm just going to put that on. Okay. Pop that off. And there's your primary off. Okay, I got my primary off, and you're going to want to mark before you take it apart. Mark it. So I marked it here and along the side and everything. We're only going to be taking off this cover, but still always a good idea to mark it, even though this probably doesn't matter so much. So just these 10 millimeter bolts. Just going to loosen one on each all the way, and then put some downward pressure on here, hold pressure on there, and start to back these off. And you just pull your cover off, set it over there. Now here's your spring. This is the factory spring, so this is a white, pink, white. So I have these shims. They are 72 thousandths. I did some research and found that there's I don't remember, there's a performance place that sells these for Yamahas, and they're 72 thousandths, and they say each shim increases your engagement speed by 300 RPM, and a maximum of 3 can be used, so I'm going to use all 3. I just had these made at a machine shop, but so you just throw them right in there, and then put your spring back on. And then this time there's going to be a little bit more preload on here. So you can just lift up on here, make sure your lines line up. And I'm going to compress it with my knee. And you just want to get one started a little bit. There we go. Few threads on each of these bolts. There we go. This one too. Just go by hand. There we go. Once there's a few threads, you can slowly drive it in. A little bit at a time. Go around in circles. And then put your other bolts in. And then You can torque those to spec if you so choose. I just use this because I'm a badass. Got my clutch. This would be a good time to blow it all out and clean it out and stuff. I didn't, but I probably will take it back off again. Just get it on there. It's kind of a tight squeeze. So you can get it on that tapered shaft. Slide it on, and then take your clutch bolt, stick it back in through the hole, and you could thread it, start threading it by hand from inside the belly pan. Because this, there we go. Okay, and then back to your 22mm socket. Get on, get it started, and then I just like to hold on to there and just a couple ugga-duggas. It does have a torque spec, and you can look that up if you so choose. Once you get your belt back on, remember this is up in the air a little, and I have my parking brake back off. Just hold the belt, move the secondary, lift the belt, move the secondary, and just keep doing that until your belt gets about flush. Or close enough. Alright, so next we'll start this bad boy up and see where our tracking gauge is. Looks like it worked. It kicked in at right about 4,000, which is actually what it should be stock, which it is stock, but for whatever reason that spring might be weak. It's kicking in low, so I'll ride it around and see what I think, but it's definitely going to be better because this thing was kind of boggy off the line. So hopefully that'll help somebody, because I looked everywhere on how to shim your primary clutch and I couldn't find anything. So here you go. Alright, yeah, I took it for a little rip. It kicks in at around 4,000 RPM, which seems perfect. It's definitely more jerky than it was, which I like. It engages later and harder, and it just seems so much snappier. Even the belt seems to ride a little bit higher up on the secondary, because it's putting a little bit more pressure on there. But I'd say it's a success.